Hello to all astrology enthusiasts. In this video, I want to discuss the transit of the planet Mercury through the zodiac sign, Aries, for the 12 horoscope signs. And I will note that Mercury is in Aries from March 3rd, and the transit will last until May 10th, 2025. Additionally, in separate videos, we will discuss the retrograde of Mercury in Aries and Pisces and the characteristics of these energies. So let's get started. Aries, Mercury is in your sign, in your first house of the horoscope. And here it brings a very bright energy of activity, specifically in the themes of your self-expression, personality, interaction with others, with the people around you. In general, Mercury in Aries gives us very quick thinking, decisive actions, and very straightforward communications. And when this energy passes through the first house, which is connected with us personally, with our image, with personal initiative, and with the themes of how we perceive ourselves, there can certainly be very interesting situations here. Firstly, there is a lot of communication and an activation of thinking, very active, rapid thinking. Here there will be a desire to communicate a lot, exchange information, absorb information, learn some knowledge, and express your thoughts and ideas. But they can be very hasty or abrupt, straightforward. And here, of course, there can be situations where misunderstandings, amity, or conflicts arise because of these energies. Here, during this transit, you will want to implement your plans very quickly. There will be, so to speak, issues with patience and impulsiveness, because Mercury in Aries is prone to this impatience. It can make decisions without verifying information, without fully thinking through the steps. Here, there is a certain lack of attention to detail. And here it is very important for you to ensure that you do not rush events and be prepared for the possibility that more time may be needed to think through each step. To ground this energy, it is very important to balance the impulsive energy of Mercury in Aries. And this can be done through spiritual practices. This can be done through journaling, planning, or writing practices. This can be done through physical activity, through sports. And in order to, so to speak, unload this energy, to ground it so that it does not lead to haste and impatience. And of course, in any situation, use logic and facts and try to divide all activities into several tasks. Plan, because the energy of Aries does not allow you to focus. It is very swift, very fast. And all of this can affect your everyday actions, both in professional and personal life. Considering that this is the first house, it affects absolutely all areas of our life, and first of all ourselves, our outward appearance, our style of behavior, our interaction with the people around us, and any undertakings in both personal and business life. In any case, I wish you success. Taurus. Mercury is in Aries, in your 12th house of the horoscope. And here it brings very powerful energies for internal processes related to your thinking, perception, and communication. But all this is hidden from the general view, and it is more connected to your subconscious. The 12th house is generally associated with secrets, the theme of the solitude, and internal experiences. When Mercury passes through this house, its influence has a very strong focus on self-analysis, self-reflection, and resolving internal conflicts. It is important to understand that the energy of Mercury in Aries will activate quick thoughts, decisiveness, and impulsiveness. But in combination with the 12th house, this can generate some hidden, even unexpected activity. particularly on the mental and emotional levels. That is fears and repressed emotions, shadow aspects of our personality that have been hidden for a long time may be activated here. Mercury in Aries can prompt you to address these long-standing internal issues and processes. You will begin to become aware of what was previously on a subconscious level. This may manifest as sudden insights, certain realizations, or vivid thoughts. Here you should also pay attention to your dreams. Here, a process of realizing the past is initiated, necessitating deep psychological work. And all this happens precisely through the opportunity to retreat, to somehow hide, isolate yourself from people, to dedicate time to yourself. There may be unexpected hidden communications, so to speak. Here, intuition is activated. And in order to ground this energy, you definitely need to work with it, delve into this psychological theme and work with dreams. You can engage in some writing practices or seek the help of a specialist. It's the perfect time to retreat. It's the perfect time to engage in creativity and experience these hidden, suppressed emotions through creativity, freeing yourself from all the past. Well, and in any case, I wish you success. Use the energy to your advantage. Gemini, Mercury in Aries is moving through your 11th house of the horoscope, bringing an activation of communication as exchange of ideas and interaction with a large amount of information, specifically through your social contacts and friendships. The 11th house is associated with social connections, group activities, friends, as well as themes of ideals. Our hopes and dreams for the future that inspire us. Additionally, we are very much involved in collective activities here. And Mercury, as the planet of communication in the sign of Aries, stimulates our actions, our impulsiveness, and will activate in you the desire to quickly exchange information, convey your ideas, and actively participate in group projects. It can influence personal professional connections here, provide new acquaintances, new contacts, and the launch of new initiatives and projects. And you may meet like-minded individuals here who support your ideas. And of course, there will be a lot of communication with friends, a lot of collective team activities. Here you can influence other people with your opinion. And during this transit, you will feel how open you are to new perspectives. However, Mercury can also lead to sharp statements and quick decisions in social situations. You can use a lot of technology here. You can get involved in some online projects because Mercury in Aries will provide new ideas and innovative solutions. They will come very quickly with these energies. But it can also lead to conflicts in groups or collective projects because Mercury in Aries is very straightforward, very impulsive and hasty. Of course, sometimes this is perceived by others not positively, which consequently leads to contradictions and misunderstandings. Then during this transit, network interactions develop significantly. You can build career connections. And to ground these energies, try to consciously experience them a little. Engage in active listening. Perhaps engage in writing practices, or simply jot down your plans or ideas. It's very beneficial to release this energy through physical activity and rest. Here, it's important to be moderate in decisions and conclusions, and certainly to establish social contacts, expand your network, resolve any misunderstandings in friendships, and in this way, this energy will work to your advantage. And I wish you good luck. Cancers, Mercury in Aries is transiting through your 10th house of the horoscope, and here it will have a significant impact on your career, your public image, reputation, and professional goals, everything related to social and professional activities. The 10th house is responsible for social status, your ambitions, and the visible side of life for your career. And here, Mercury in Aries will activate an increased drive for success, a desire for changes in these areas of life, and the need to assert your position in society and professional activities. The planet of thinking and communication in an impulsive sign. This will lead to quick decision-making, some sharp statements, and a desire to express your ideas specifically in the professional sphere. Here, Mercury will activate your career ambitions and goals. You may feel an intensified need to express your ideas and thoughts, specifically in professional activities. During this period, you will want quick results. You will want to make decisions quickly and actively work towards realizing your professional ambitions. It is a very suitable time to make a name for yourself, demonstrate leadership qualities, and address issues related specifically to long-term professional goals. Mercury here can lead to impulsive decisions and increased initiative at work. Or perhaps during this transit, you might want to leave your job and start your own project in the business, startup, or new partnership. Just keep in mind that we will also have retrograde motion. And naturally, such impulsiveness and haste can lead to hasty decisions or some misunderstandings, particularly in professional situations. It can lead to conflicts at work, both with colleagues and with management, with influential people. There might be unnecessary arguments when your views are not shared by colleagues, for example. In the 10th house, public speaking, presentations, and negotiations go very well, again in the context of professional activities. And here, Mercury will want a very quick and decisive action or response, let's say, according to Aries energies. And here, of course, you need to, so to speak, slow yourself down a bit or consciously enter these situations in order to be able to control these energies. And also, it can bring changes in social roles, status, or generally in work, more. And plus, the 10th house is also responsible for official marital relationships. So these energies can also play out in personal relationships and again lead to some quick actions or misunderstandings in relationships with a partner. In order to ground these energies, you need to focus primarily on planning and organizing your professional activities, your professional tasks, goals, developing strategies, controlling your emotions and reactions, being attentive and cautious in communications, especially with management or influential people. It's very beneficial to channel this energy through physical activity, and of course, to consider your decisions and not rush. I wish you success. Lions, Mercury in Aries in your 9th house of the horoscope activates areas of education, especially at the international level, long-distance travel, and also touches upon your spiritual sphere, especially considering that Mercury is, after all, the planet of thinking. And this can occur both materially and intellectually. In general, the 9th house is responsible for higher education, philosophy, worldview, travel, connections with foreign cultures, and the expansion of our horizons. And Mercury in Aries here will strive for very rapid acquisition of new knowledge, aiming to expand your experience. Either legal and juridical issues will come to the forefront here, or there will be situations related to pedagogical activities, teaching activities, or writing, for example, books. Perhaps right now you will decide that you want to publish your book and will start preparing the material very quickly. That is, there is an activation of such thought processes and an interest in new ideas, especially at the international level, everything related to abroad. There will be new acquaintances here. There will be business partnerships with foreigners. Here, one can go on a journey. The only thing is to do it before or after the retrograde period of Mercury. New knowledge will be revealed here. It's very good to start learning foreign languages. With such a transit, there may be a very strong desire to travel, to seek information beyond your usual environment. And you will want, so to speak, to find the truth, to understand some issues that were previously unclear to you, or from which you were very distant. Here, views on life in general can change very significantly. It's very good to go on trips and interact with foreigners. The only thing is that Mercury is straightforward. It's sharp in communications, which can lead to misunderstandings or some conflict situations. And in general, during this transit, it's very good to be flexible, especially to try to manage your decisions so that they are not hasty in any situations related to the themes of the 9th house. And to ground this energy, it's very good to plan, for example, to structure your learning process or to write down your thoughts and ideas that influence your worldview. It's very good to engage in spiritual practices and meditations. Any information you receive, apply it in practice. Travel more, go for more walks, engage in sports, and try to listen to different viewpoints of the people around you who play a certain role in your life. And I wish you good luck. The Virgos, Mercury in Aries in your 8th house of the horoscope activates very deep and transformational aspects of your life which concern personal relationships from an intimate perspective, finances, shared resources, as well as issues related to your mental, emotional, and let's say transformation, these changes that are happening to you now. The 8th house requires very deep work on oneself. This concerns both sexual relationships and financial matters, debt obligations, inheritance issues, and generally shared resources. The 8th house also governs secret knowledge. During this transit, Mercury in Aries might provide you with an unexpected revelation of very significant information. Additionally, very strong mental transformations occur here, which divide our life into before and after. You may begin to perceive what is happening in your life in a completely new way. And Mercury will provide a lot of thoughts, streams of information, and insights that will primarily lead you to personal transformations. This means that during this period, your behavior patterns, especially those related to money, personal relationships, or your self-esteem, will be dismantled to build completely new structures. Negotiations and deals on financial matters go very well. In the 8th house, we have investments and/or entrepreneurship. Here you can also start new ventures. The only thing to consider is that retrograde Mercury awaits us. It's a great time to discuss intimate, deeply personal topics, but keep in mind that Mercury in Aries is quite sharp and straightforward. And here you need to be very careful to avoid misunderstandings with your partner. Oh, and of course, it's good to engage in deep psychological work, perhaps by consulting a specialist. Secret information will be revealed here. You can also pay attention to dreams, which will provide the necessary information. Well, in order to ground this energy, you need to work primarily on personal changes, emotional blocks, and fears. This can be done through creativity, psychotherapy, or physical activity, such as sports. It's important to make very conscious financial steps here, to make financial decisions without rushing, and to plan undoubtedly. And if we are talking about personal relationships, it's very beneficial to engage in open negotiations and dialogues, to have frank conversations in order to eliminate any misunderstandings. Well, I wish you success. Libra, Mercury in Aries is moving through your 7th house of the horoscope and brings its active energies to all types of your relationships, interactions, and partnerships. That is, the 7th house is specifically related to partnerships, cooperation, and the context of social connections. It is responsible for both personal relationships, marital relationships, and the professional sphere. And here, Mercury in Aries activates very quick and decisive energies in your actions. This means that this period can bring you very important conversations with partners, both in love and in business, as well as interactions with clients. There will be a new perspective on your relationships, on ways of interacting. That is, there will be, first of all, a lot of communication. And Mercury in Aries is straightforward, very fast, sometimes sharp in statements, makes very hasty conclusions, and makes quick decisions. Therefore, here you need to, of course, hold yourself back, so to speak, so that these things, these energies do not interfere with building harmonious interactions. Conflicts are possible here due to these energies. So we don't rush, we seek compromise, we engage in dialogue, we try to reassess relationships, we try to pay attention to nuances in our partnerships. This will manifest in both business relationships and personal, any alliances. There will be many ideas and new acquaintances here. Here you can launch a PR campaign, but keep in mind that this should be done before the retrograde motion. And to ground these energies, try to consciously engage in any communication, in any interaction, and be moderate in your decisions. Actively work with your emotions, manage them. You can release this energy through creativity, through physical activity. It is important here to express your expectations in any dialogues and not rush into decisions. It is important here to set personal boundaries and build interactions, any interaction, well, in a calm, cool-headed manner, so to speak, with a cool mind. In order not to create situations of misunderstanding. Well, I wish you success. Scorpios, Mercury in Aries in your 6th house of the horoscope creates very dynamic and tense situations here related to daily work, your health, and topics concerning relationships with your colleagues and management. The 6th house relates to and characterizes work duties, healthcare, some routine matters, interaction with close people, caring for loved ones, service. Mercury in Aries here will activate your ability to think very quickly, make very quick decisions, and will create some impulsiveness in your actions. This will require special attention from you in order to avoid haste and additional stress. Work processes will undoubtedly speed up here. You will need to take some quick actions to resolve work situations. There will be a lot of communication and interaction in work and professional activities. There might be some situations related to your health condition, psychological state, or there might be more stress than usual. Additionally, during this transit, you might want to start exercising or resume some diet or introduce some new habits into your life. New ideas will emerge on how to improve your work environment, working conditions, or optimize work processes. Here you will have a very pronounced ability to respond to any issues related to these areas of life. And in order to ground this energy, you need to, of course, plan and consciously approach these situations in these areas of life. You can use any techniques that reduce stress and not rush into making decisions. This energy can be channeled through sports, creativity, or by resting more. And of course, try to work through work-related issues, health topics, or everyday responsibilities in more detail to slightly slow down, so there are no abrupt movements, conflicts, or misunderstandings. I wish you success. Sagittarius. Mercury in Aries is in your 5th house of the horoscope, and here it activates areas of creativity, your self-expression, themes of romantic relationships or interactions with your children will be relevant. Here you can also start engaging in some new interests or hobbies. It's very joyful and pleasurable to spend time participating in cultural events. Mercury in Aries in this house will bring energetic energy and will focus your attention on quick communication, active actions, and the desire to assert yourself, to show yourself. There may be new romantic acquaintances here. Here you can launch new creative projects, initiatives, engage in design, music, literature, any form of creativity, and share your ideas and thoughts. There will be unconventional solutions and innovative ideas coming here. The only thing is, for example, in romantic relationships, besides the possibility of new acquaintances, there is a risk of some hasty decisions in love and relationships. You might act on emotions or hastily express your feelings to your partner. Therefore, it's worth slowing yourself down a bit here because Mercury in Aries is very swift, very abrupt. There will be an increase in communication with your children during shared activities, if that's relevant for you. Well, and in order to ground the energies of this transit, first of all, you need to plan, but remain flexible. Here, it's very beneficial to engage in a lot of creativity and physical activity to, so to speak, tame this energy. Here, you need to show patience and understanding in personal relationships, in romantic relationships. If for writing practice is relevant for you, you can jot down your creative ideas and plans. It's important to maintain moderation in entertainment, even if there is a large influx, and manage impulsiveness, specifically through, for example, physical movement or sports or any activity that allows you to manage this energy. This could be running, dancing, yoga. The main thing is to balance this energy, and I wish you success. Capricorns. Mercury in Aries in your 4th house of the horoscope activates themes of home, family, family history, themes of moving, buying, selling, real estate, changing residence. In general, the 4th house forms our sense of security and belonging where we live. It also activates our personal relationships and relationships with parents and the home we grew up in. Mercury in Aries will bring very fast dynamic energies of thinking. Here, a desire to express your thoughts and ideas. And all of this will affect the home atmosphere and your relationships with loved ones. There may be very heated discussions in the family with parents, up to conflicts, misunderstandings with close relatives or with a marital partner. Any home projects may be activated here, but also due to the quick reactions of Mercury in Aries, due to hasty decisions, there may be some blockages and obstacles. There will also be situations where you will need to return to some family issues, or on the contrary, start some home projects. This could be a renovation or a move or a sale of real estate or a purchase. And in general, everything related to your past, your lineage, family history, parents, and ancestors will be relevant for you in this development. And some situations may arise, especially during retrograde, that were once created but not resolved due to misunderstandings. Well, and there will be situations where your personal comfort will be somewhat disrupted, because Mercury in Aries is very sharp. It's very even restless in a sense. It can also provide new ideas for arranging your home, for some changes, for starting renovations, as I mentioned. There will be a lot of information and interaction, specifically in the context of your family relationships. And you can also initiate family celebration and events here. To ground this energy, you need to restrain impulsiveness in conversations, especially with family members, and try to plan things related to your home or domestic projects, or, for example, a move. It is very beneficial to work on your family past, so to speak, to delve into these topics and perhaps discuss and resolve some conflict situations. Then in general, pay more attention to home and family, trying to listen to your intuition and slightly slow down these energies, because Mercury in Aries will bring a lot of thoughts and a flow of information specifically on these topics. Well, I wish you good luck. Aquarius, Mercury in Aries in your third house activates the sphere of communication and information. This planet is already responsible for these areas. And here, it will provide twice as much information in more communication, more trips, movements, interactions with your close environment, close relatives, brothers and sisters. The third house is responsible for everyday contacts, mental processes, speech and information. There will be new acquaintances here, and sales might increase. But keep in mind, this is before the retrograde. You can buy new equipment, a car, but again, before the retrograde movement. Very fast, dynamic energy regarding information with many decisive actions, even abrupt ones. Sometimes this can lead to conflicts or misunderstandings. There might be sharp, impulsive statements or a desire to share your ideas, launch projects, especially if they are based on intellectual foundations or activities. There will be a lot of business trips, travels, short-term movements, interactions with friends and relatives. And it's very important to be clear in communications here. It's very important to pay attention to information, to documents, and try not to make hasty decisions. It's important to use technology in your activities, gadgets. This is all the third house, and Mercury here makes it all the more relevant for you. To ground these energies, it's important to engage in conscious communication, filtering any information that comes in. You can plan, make lists, take notes, systematize any information, and take breaks. Definitely use any technical devices to record everything happening during this transit. Yes, especially regarding information. And you can also release this energy through creativity, physical activity, reading books, educational processes, participating in courses, or simply using meditation or yoga. Well, in any case, I wish you good luck. Pisces, Mercury in Aries is moving through your second house of the horoscope and completely affects the financial sphere of your life. Values, material, resources, assets, and your self-esteem. The second house is responsible for money, material values, earning abilities, our internal resources, and our personal inner stability. Mercury in Aries, being very fast, impulsive, and decisive will bring its dynamics here. Thank you. There will be a desire for rapid changes in these areas of life, and this can open up new opportunities for you, new sources of income, or create some negative situations, misunderstandings, or miscommunications. Here it will be important to make financial decisions very quickly, but also very consciously, because Mercury in Aries is swift. And all matters related to money, expenses, or investments can certainly result in a loss if rushed. Try not to take risks, undoubtedly. And here, you will feel the desire to spend money on something new as well. In the moment, it may seem very important to you, but in reality, these are impulsive purchases, so don't rush. Thoughts about your value and self-esteem will be activated here. What allows you to earn money in this life, so to speak? Perhaps some talents, skills, abilities. Or what value do money or personal achievements or career hold for you? You will be thinking about all of this here. Avoid getting into any quick money deals. Stay very attentive. It's better to plan your financial decisions here, or some financial strategies, or there will be new ideas on how to earn money or increase income. To keep track of all this, you can simply plan or write these things down. Try not to take financial risks. There will be a lot of communications and negotiations related to money matters. Also, at this stage, you can launch your entrepreneurial ideas, business, anything that can generate income, or engage in investments. And in principle, to ground this energy and manage it, it's very good to plan your finances, financial steps, avoid impulsive decisions and large purchases, plan your budget, and eliminate unnecessary expenses, consciously make any financial decisions. Check any offers and conditions related to your money, maybe some contracts. It's very good to pay attention to working on your self-esteem, your value. You can release this energy through sports, physical activity, creativity. You can practice meditation. And also working with debts and loans will ground this energy very well. It's very good to repay them or find ways to restructure these processes. And here it's important to avoid hasty decisions again, so that no misunderstandings arise in the financial aspect of your life in the future. I wish you success. And subscribe, like, share this video. See you. Bye-bye.